What?
I've been warned about you. You are perilously close to making an enemy of Caesar, and that is not wise. My name is Carl. Glorious Caesar has sent me as an emissary to the great Khans as a token of our alliance. In exchange for great Caesar's promise of all the lands west of New Vegas, the Khans have agreed to fight alongside the Legion when the time comes. I am one of the Frumentari. It is my duty to scout the waste in Caesar's name and make contact with any tribes that might serve a useful purpose. You might say I'm somewhere between a scout and an ambassador. I'm assigned here as part of the alliance between the Legion and the Great Khans. Though they have been cruelly oppressed by the NCR, the Khans remain great warriors. The Legion is honored to have such allies in battle. Speak then. Yes, goodbye.
Sure. Boss, the old man will crawl around in the dirt to keep hidden.
We're not moving as many kills now that the beans have been taken out. Come to gawk at the Great Khans, have you? Fuck off.
I haven't seen you before. What brings you to the Great Khans? That's a complicated question. They've done horrible things to our people, to be sure, and I've gladly killed many of their soldiers in battle. But I can't bring myself to hate them the way Papa does. Things would damn sure be better for us if they were in charge than Caesar. I suppose if asked, I would. But that's a moot point, because Papa's in charge now, and he's not going anywhere. Papa is one of the best leaders the Khans have ever had. He's kept us together through all of our hardships, ever since we left California. Bitter Springs changed him, though. He started to really hate the NCR after the massacre, and sometimes I worry that's poisoned his mind. Nothing. Forget about it. I shouldn't be talking about this with an outsider. I really don't like to talk about it. Let's just say it was a tragedy, and the NCR is to blame, and we'll leave it at that. Name's Regis. I'm Papa Khan's advisor and right-hand man. I'm also the chief enforcer of the tribe's laws, so watch your behavior. Until next time.
Huh?
Hello.
So the cub enters the wolf's den. What do you want, cub? And what benefit would this alliance give us? Well now, the armory could always use more firepower. Very well. Tell the powder gangers we accept their offer. However, they would still have to pass the initiation rite to truly join our ranks. You want to hear the story of the Great Khans? It's a long one, full of honor, glory, and betrayal. We have suffered, but we will regain our glory. In a hurry, are you? Very well, then. The Great Khans came east, out of the NCR 14 years ago. We ruled the wastes then, and called no man master. But we underestimated the families of the Strip, and they drove us back to Bitter Springs, where we remained until the NCR arrived and drove us here. They allied with Mr. House, the self-proclaimed master of New Vegas. He supported them with the resources of New Vegas. Weapons, technology, caps. They were better equipped, and we could not stand against them. When the NCR came to the Mojave, we thought they would be easy pickings. We raided their caravans, their towns, their camps. They couldn't stop us. At least that's what we thought. They tracked us to Bitter Springs and surrounded us. When our children, our sick and old, fled through a nearby pass, the NCR gunned them down. Oh, they claimed it was a miscommunication, but tell that to those who saw our families butchered. Tell it to the survivors who were banished here. You march all the way out to Red Rock Canyon, enter my home as bold as you please, and you have no idea who I am? You've got guts, I'll give you that. Well then, let me educate you. I am the chief of the Great Khans. The Khan of Khans, if you like. This is my tribe, and these are my people.
What do you want?
We're not moving as many chems now that the fiends have been taken.
Ah, you're back. What else do you need? Have you now? Well, you're a bold one, I'll give you that. But why should I do this for you? Doesn't he? Caesar's representative tells a different tale. The glory of the Great Khans will be restored, and once the NCR is pushed back to California, all the land from here to the Colorado will be ours. I won't hear any more talk against Caesar or his alliance. The Great Khans will answer Caesar's call to war, and the NCR will pay for their crimes.
Why'd you come here?
Hello. Your pal's one ugly mother.
Anything from Papa Khan? I'd rather not, but fair enough. We'll do it. See you around. Good to see you.
I'm sure you'll be fair and equitable, boss. I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss. I'm sure pissing off a ruthless warlord with a tribe of fanatically devoted warriors was a good move. How could it not be? It was your idea. That's what I love about you, boss. Your firm belief that one day you'll actually remember things people tell you. What do you want to hear about? Questions, boss? You mean you don't know everything there is to know already? Just how old do you think I am, boss? Because I can pretty much guarantee I'm older than that. Let me tell you a story from before the Great War. Everybody knew Robert House. He was a genius, a superstar. Founded Raul at 22. Dated Hollywood starlets, the works. They say he saved Las Vegas. I was in Mexico City when the bombs dropped. Even from there, we could see House's defensive rockets shooting down the incoming missiles. Everybody assumed he died in the war. Maybe he did. But his robots are still out there roaming the waste. And now, a Mr. House rules New Vegas. I remember there were some weird stories about him, especially near the end. There was a tell-all in El Periódico de las Aburridas by a starlet House dated. She said they never, Now, don't make me spell it out, boss. Anyway, she said all he wanted to do was scan her brain and make her dress up in different outfits. Maybe not. Maybe the new guy is just a clever raider chief with knowledge of history. Maybe he just left instructions for his robots to carry out in his name. Or maybe Robert House uploaded his brain pattern into a computer and rules to this day a godless, soulless machine god. Maybe the whole thing's a crazy coincidence. Who knows? You're a veritable geyser of curiosity, boss. Sure, boss. I saw lots of guys like that while I was held prisoner by an insane super mutant in an isolated mountain fortress. Can you narrow it down? Just a little bit, boss. Nah, I haven't seen him. Sounds like a city slicker, though. Might try looking on the strip. Sure, boss. What do you want to know? I'm starting to think you haven't been paying attention, boss. Raul Alfonso Tejada, former gunslinger and sole survivor of Hidalgo Ranch, at your service. I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book's in Spanish and some of the pages have fallen out, but I'm an open book. I'm not much use besides being a portable encyclopedia, really. I guess you could use me as a pack Brahmin, but my knees aren't so good anymore. That's nice of you to say, boss. But I'm an old man. Not much use to anybody anymore. Time was. I was a pretty good shot with a pistol. I guess I'm still half decent. These old bones aren't much use in hand-to-hand fighting, though. I can also do maintenance work on your stuff. I don't have the supplies for a real repair job, but I can keep your gear working longer. Yeah, maybe you can introduce them to me, if we find them, because I've never met one. I was born just outside Mexico City. My family had a little ranch there. After they died, I took my little sister, my Rafaela, to Mexico City. We lived there a while. Then I moved on and ended up here. I'd rather not talk about it anymore. I was born in 2047, boss. If you do the math on that, I'm sure you'll get within a decade or so. Well, boss, when a giant, insane super mutant asks you to stay put, you do what you're told. Well, Maybe you don't. But I'm just a broke-down old man. It's stupid, boss. I used to listen to the radio broadcast, just to pass the time. Well, one day the signal stopped, so I figured I'd try to find a transmitter. I'm a pretty good repairman. Or I was before my eyes started to go. Anyway, I found Black Mountain and offered my services. But Tabitha decided I was useful enough to keep around. Permanently. Yeah. Time I want fire.
I'm gonna blow you to pieces. Damn it, that's gonna stink.
Cowboy festoon there.
Please step into the open and identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens have nothing.
Doubtless they ran away in sheer terror of the mighty Raul. Oh, and you too, boss.
Damn! This is hopeless! I'm hit!
I'm out of here! I'm out of here! I'm hit!
I'd remember if I had seen you here before. I'm sure of it. What do you want? What's on your mind? Bold, as it pleases the Thorn, and me. But it does take more than that to earn my admiration. You speak like a hunter, yet only actions prove one's worth. The Thorn requires a tribute of blood, and so do I. Think you have what it takes? All right. Prove your worth, and I'll reward your service. The Thorn needs newborn specimens that will one day grow to honor us with their blood. Bring me a dozen giant mantis's eggs. If you accomplish this, I might gift you with greater tasks in the future. I'm listening. Ask, and you might get an answer. New Vegas has many faces, stranger. Despite everything, it shall never be whole. When the land hunts you, when fighting for survival is the norm, your neighbors become either saviors or enemies. Westside is a part of New Vegas, just as much as it's a part of the wasteland. In the end, stranger, we need them both to continue making our fate. Westside attracts all sorts of travelers, including merchants and farmers. They come here to exchange their goods or to seek protection. Our community provides enough food, clothes, weapons, and medicine to encourage trade and to arm our defenses. The Thorn demonstrates, beyond anything else, that we're self-sufficient. Our desert blood has overcome even the strongest beasts of the wasteland. Westside is a part of New Vegas, just as much as it's a part of the wasteland. In the end, stranger, we need them both to continue making our fate. Smells like shit all the time, but at least we're safer than in the waste.
Great fighting today. The NCR took back Nelson. Maybe they can win this war after all.
Hi. Goodbye.
Welcome to Casa Madrid. Cheapest, cleanest whores in all New Vegas. If you want to know the rates for Poon, talk to the whores. Yep, for years now. Guess I should be calling it Casa Marco or something, but I haven't changed the signs. Folks who can't pay their way onto the strip need a place to stay too. And when Pretty Sarah set her whores up here, the Casa went full service. I got nothing you need. If it's ass you're looking for, talk to Pretty Sarah. Me and my partner, St. James, work salvage around Westside, that's all. Because it's his name. He may be high-strung, but he's all right. Hauls his half a scrap, which is all I need. Yeah, beat it.
This crouch walk is hell on my back, boss.
Why are you talking to me, man? I'm trying to relax here. Got it? Me and Dermot work salvage around New Vegas. What do you even mean? He's Dermot. Dermot knows how to work salvage better than any man I ever met. Doesn't go asking questions all day, neither. Fuck off. Hi there. Welcome to the Westside Co-op. I'm Clayton Etienne. Let me know if you have any questions. It might not look like much, but it's what keeps us Westside locals independent. We started it a few years ago. I admit we had a lot of trouble at first, but eventually we got some help from Tom Anderson with the followers. We're finally to the point where the co-op members can start making money from sales instead of just breaking even. Well, I've lived in Nevada all my life. Started out in New Reno, but headed down here as soon as I got the chance. If you can believe it, things are even worse back home. The whole city's still run by crime families. It used to be the Mordinos and Wrights. Now it's the Wrights and Van Graffs. Seems like things never got better. Anyway, that's all behind me now. All right.
Hi again. Ha ha ha! I wash my bone with Sippy. I have Pogo. Phoebes a rope. Goodbye. Hi again. Masho Fabis. My pleasure is a ma. Goodbye.
Those fiend junkies over at Vault 3 have been taking some hits. I say kill them all. You don't strike me as someone down on their luck. What brings you to Westside? I help tend the crops, stand watch for fiends, and generally help keep things civilized. A couple of years now. I was a trader for a while, but got tired of all the walking. Westside was a good place to settle down as any. Uh-huh.
Hope the fiends have learned their lesson.
If you're down on your luck and need some caps, I buy just about anything. Of course, I've also got plenty of things for sale, too. Of course. Pleasure doing business? My grandfather opened up this shop. Took over from him when the fiends killed him.
I'm glad mean son of a bitch is on our side.
I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss. I'm sure you'll be fair and equitable, boss. I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile... I'm sure you'll be fair and equitable, boss. I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense. I'm sure you'll be fair and equitable, boss. I'm sure you'll be fair and equitable, boss.
Nevermore.
Trooper, ready to fight.
Whoa!
Yeah, time for more fighting. I know. Amazingly, they still manage to outweigh the half-blind arthritic ghoul. I guess old guys are tougher than we look. mean if that fits with your schedule. Let's dance.
Took your sweet time. I suppose the NCR sent you? She's such a dear. Not like that pompous little pedant she works for. But that's neither here nor there. These plants have gotten completely out of control. I've got a plan to deal with them, but I'll need your help. Good. Meet me on the second level, and I'll explain what needs to be done.
I've been doing this longer than you, pal. Amazingly, they still manage to outweigh the half-blind on the critic pool.
What's this? Did you do these repairs? Not bad. Not bad at all. Saves me time, I guess. See you upstairs. Good, you're here. Ready to begin? Time is of the essence, so I'll be brief. This place is filled with spores that are toxic to humans, and we need to get rid of them. I've pumped the vault full of a highly flammable gas that, once ignited, should destroy the vast majority of spores. There's one problem, though. The gas becomes semi-inert on exposure to oxygen, meaning the gas will have to be ignited close to where it's being introduced. I need you to find the vents where the gas is being pumped and ignite it. Oh, and survive the resulting blast. In the area where the gas is active, any kind of fire or explosion should do the trick. Hell, even lasers would do the job. If you don't have anything like that, I've got some grenades in my bag in the corner that you can use. Yes, there'll be an explosion when the gas is ignited, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Now leave me to my work. Good. Return to me when it's done. Ah, good. You survived. I was beginning to think you hadn't. You'll be pleased to know that the spores should no longer be a problem. Now all that's left is to ensure that none of this ever happens again. The research that led to these abominations must be erased. I've managed to create a connection to the Vault's backup system from here. I just have to remotely delete all the files, and we're done here. Indeed. This should only take a minute. Just a few more moments, and... That's strange. The system says that the files were accessed recently, and copied to an external source. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? Those files need to be erased. Hold out your arm and I'll have it done in a flash. To someone, I'm sure. But they constitute a threat to life as we know it. Now, give me your arm already. So you're gonna be stubborn about it, eh? You're sure I can't change your mind about this? Then you give me no choice.
I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss.